your AFL team's New Year resolution. That's right, I am recording as of 2024. The new year has just come around and I'm going to be giving your club what their New Year's resolution should be. Before we get into this, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow the TikTok, FTFooty, and let's get into it. Let's go reverse alphabetical order because I'm feeling hot and spicy right now. Starting off with the Dogs. My New Year's resolution, now originally I put get rid of Bevo, but I thought that is bias. Honestly, you could put get rid of one of the higher ups as a New Year's resolution, but mine, shake up the top. Basically, make big changes because something's got to change because they have the list to, go deep into finals and they don't seem to do it. They need to be more consistent, and consistency comes with shaking up the top. Something's got to change. Like I said before, I'm not convinced on Bevo, but I don't blame Doggies fans for not seeing him as the problem given he's brought them some success. But I think, we just saw last year even the loss to the Eagles at home, when finals were on the line. That is absolutely disgusting. One of the worst losses you'll ever see, and they've got to shake up the top, make some big changes. There's been rumors and discussions about certain changes that will happen, but there's yet to be a real big one to shake up the top. For the West Coast Eagles, their New Year's resolution will be to not overdo Harley Reid. Harley Reid, quite simply, will automatically be one of West Coast's best players because West Coast list is so bad, Harley Reid's so good. And that comes with its risks because there is a chance that he might be mismanaged and overplayed, overworked, and then complications could come. Even though he seems mature, especially physically mature for his age, doesn't mean you can play him like a, prime athlete in this moment. So my New Year's resolution for them is just don't play him too much. Don't overdo him because he should play every week. Like, he has that ability, but you need to just slowly feed him football just for his sake. For the Swans, I put explode. Sounds weird. And if I leave it at that, you'll be questioning my thoughts on that. Explode. What I mean by explode is the Swans have had the perfect trade window. They've got a good mix of youth and experience. They've gotten out some players they didn't need. They are going to explode. I think Sydney will absolutely explode in a good way, okay? Not like how I think Richmond will explode, in the wrong way. Sydney will explode in a way that will scare the competition and will shake up the whole, Collingwood, Brisbane, Carlton will be the top, Melbourne, Sydney. They're here to fuck shit up, And the New Year's resolution should be to bring all these pieces together and actually explode, The bomb's ticking. I don't know if I can say that. St Kilda, I put be better statistically. I made a YouTube video recently, check it out, where I went through all the AFL key statistics, going through every team and where the deficiencies are statistically and where teams are very good statistically. Long story short, in that video, Essendon and St Kilda were pretty horrific statistically, and therefore both those teams heavily overperformed in 2023. They'll both drop down in 2024. And so I think for St Kilda, maybe try and focus on those statistics that they are lacking in, and not just random stats. The stats that I went through are the key stats for every season that the premiers tend to do good in, or the top four. And St Kilda were never good, never ever good. They'll never top at those, so they can't keep fluking these wins and they can't keep overperforming. Okay, so they've got to go to the sole issue and get better and focus on those stats. For Richmond, I put my New Year's resolution as sell players whilst they're still worth something. I feel like Richmond have so many what-if players and so many just players that seem like system players or players that, they could be good or they're good one week and bad for a month. Like, there's just a lot of players we need to get rid of. We, obviously, go for Richmond. I think we need to sell a lot of players, even if that's got to be Dustin Martin. If we can get money for Shea Bolton, I know he's great, but I want to get some value in. Subs, those 27, 28 plus, any of them have trade value, get them out the door so we can bring some good draftees in because we're in big trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. Our youth doesn't look good. Our experience is now retiring. So I think whilst we can sell players with trade value. For Port Adelaide, I put support Rosie. What that means is Tom Jonas, as the ex-captain, is gone. This young guy, I like it. I like the idea, but there needs to be a lot of support for him because, just because he has the qualities and attributes to be a good leader doesn't necessarily mean he will be. He will be a good leader if he gets the support that he needs. And that's from experienced teammate Ollie Wines, Travis Boak, Charlie Dixon, those sorts of players. They've got to almost be captains without being captains, if that makes sense. So they've got to guide and nurture Rosie. We've seen, for example, Zach Merritt, when he was a young captain, that didn't quite work out at Essendon. So I think it will work out. I think Rosie is an absolute star and is better for Butters for that matter. But I think for Port Adelaide, try and sort of ooze him into the role and help him, support him along the way. For North Melbourne, I put keep Clarko. I guess sort of a touchy one there, but try and put things in place that will keep him at the club all season. I'm not sure what that entails, but anything where his mental health could improve and he could be, you know, as in love with coaching again, try and put those things in place. I don't think that makes sense, but it kind of does. For Melbourne, I put fix the culture. So simple, fix the culture. What does that mean? What does that entail? Get rid of Oliver? Maybe. Get rid of Goody? Maybe. Get rid of the higher ups? Maybe. Whatever you need to do, the culture has to be fixed because, you know, the culture will ultimately define their success, both the now and the future, because I can guarantee you a lot of players won't be happy at Melbourne right now. I'm recording this as the Clayton Oliver situation has fired up again. So for the now and for the future, they've got to sort this culture problem out right now. Do it ASAP because culture is inevitably the most important thing, or one of the most important things at a club. For Hawthorn, I put keep Mitch Lewis fit. He'll win the Coleman if he does stay fit. Bring in your best physios, the best of the best of the best to keep that guy fit and you will be good. Maybe he's not fit, not the end of the world, but you did lose Kaczynski. You know, Mabiachol and Gunston, well, Gunston's old and Mabiachol is not your number one forward. So try keep him fit. I guess that applies to everyone, but Mitchell Lewis especially. I think he's a special talent, a special player, and I want to see him play a full 20, at least 20 rounds of football. 20 games if he can play in 2024, that'll be great. For Gold Coast, I put cement new game style ASAP. Long story short, Tim is going to implement this whole new game style to the Gold Coast team, and this Gold Coast team has been so used to playing Stewie Jew's game style for the last 6-7 years. This is going to be a shock to their system. This is why I don't think Gold Coast will be great this year, is because the new system, okay? It takes time to implement, and I think that's got to be their focus for Dimmer, is especially in training, get it in their minds. This is my system. Fuck the Jew system, do my system. It'll take time, but if you can get it done as quick as possible, Gold Coast will have the best chance of being successful. For GWS, look, a little bit of a cop-out, but I've said put Toby Green, but mainly Sam Taylor fit. Just keep them fit. Sam Taylor is the best defender in the league when he's fit, but he's just not available. He's too unfit. And the age-old saying, one of my favorite saying is, availability is the best ability. So the fact is never available, therefore is synonymous with not being that good, because availability is the best ability. Toby Green as well, just as the captain for that club, always has this injury problem. Keep him fit as well and you'll be happy. GWS, there's not much you need to change elsewise because their game style is great for finals and they look like they could do some damage in 2024. For Geelong, I put accept incoming rebuild. There just is going to be a rebuild. Stars are getting old. Even now, Danger and Hawkins are on their last legs. You know, obviously Selwood's already been retired for a bit and they've struggled because of that. And there's going to be more. Tom Stewart's getting old, who's one of their best players. I just think the inevitable is coming and they are going to have to rebuild. I think for Geelong, have a look at where you're at. If they could be top 8 in the first 10 games, then I think push. But if they're towards bottom 6, I reckon just start playing youth, implement some youth, and just accept that with the list they have, because it's old and slow and the young players aren't that good, they need to do something about it. A little bit like Richmond. Both Richmond and Geelong were so good for so long that a rebuild was sort of inevitable in a certain sense. So I think with Geelong, it's going to be more of a mini rebuild. I think with Richmond, it's going to be a pretty decent one. For Fremantle, I put get rid of Justin Longmuir. Get him out. I don't know why they've kept him as coach. I think Fremantle should, more to the point, as a New Year's resolution, is appoint Stewie Jew. Stewie Jew did phenomenal at Gold Coast. But for the resources he had, for the team he was at, he did well. I've said before, I wanted Stewie Jew at the Richmond Football Club. I don't blame us for taking Adam Uze because of his past experience at, you know, different clubs, especially Melbourne. But I think Fremantle, they have the opportunity now because Stewie Jew, Nathan Buckley, and Leon Cameron are the 3 coaches right now that I think are next to get jobs. And I think Stewie Jew's the best out of them. So Fremantle should be wanting to get them. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for Justin Longmuir, and I don't think it will in 2024. Let's be real. Like, Fremantle, I feel like they have a good spine, a good midfield, young core midfield, but otherwise, what are Fremantle? Who are Fremantle? If you're a Fremantle fan, what are your thoughts on your club? Because I'm a little bit lost with Fremantle right now. I feel like their youth indicates that they should be good, you know, in the future, but also, no, like, it's just not. But get rid of Justin, for fuck's sake. Get someone better in. For Essendon, I've put have fun. Sounds weird, right? I think with Essendon, they're always so caught up about making finals and winning one. That's like their goal right now. But I think for Essendon, you have to realize that not only did you heavily overperform in 2023, statistically you were awful in 2023. Go watch my stats video. Like I said, you and St Kilda were not good. So you're not going to be good in 2024. Your trade window was really good. So there is a chance that they can pull strings and maybe make finals, but I really don't think they will. So that's why I think just have fun. As Essendon fans, enjoy your team. Don't worry about the outcome. I think Brad Scott, he's the perfect coach for you. He's a really good coach. If you look at what he did at North Melbourne, it's absolutely spectacular. So you got a coach for the future. Do not sack him. If he doesn't make finals this year, don't cause a fuss. And that's why I'm sort of saying to you, enjoy it, have fun. As the team, have fun, play good footy, get a game style going, you know, and don't worry about the outcome, worry about the game style and the statistics behind it. For Collingwood, I did integrate McRae, not Fly McRae, Finley McRae. Quite simply, I think he's the future of that midfield after Dacos. But now that Adamson's gone, everyone's been saying Finn McRae is going to get in. I don't think it's as clear cut. It's not like a straight swap. Definitely not. But I do think that there is a midfield position slightly open there and a jar for him. The door is ajar. But if you're Collingwood, you'd want to integrate him as best you can. That doesn't mean shove him straight in. It might mean do a Dacos where you sort of play a bit defense through the midfield for your first year. But I think that should be their goal this year, is obviously alongside winning a flag again. But I mean, for every club, their New Year's resolution should be win a flag, right? But anyway, integrate McRae and you should improve. For Carlton, I put get Harry Mackay firing again. Get him firing, get him fit, get his confidence up. There should be so many things in place at football clubs to do with a player's mental state, whether that's their confidence, their well-being, but in particular confidence. There should be heavy investments into, you know, ways to build up a player's confidence, because confidence is the best drug. You know the drugs Essendon used in 2012? That's not even as good as confidence. Confidence is the one. So find a way to get confidence in Mackay, and then imagine Kerno and Biggie Harry doing bits. That's scary. Big scary. So that should be your goal. For Brisbane, I really struggled with Brisbane giving them a New Year's resolution because, you know, their New Year's resolution should be go one step further, which is ultimately the flag, or kick one extra goal in the grand final, which gets you the flag. So I just put go again. A bit of a cop-out. Go again is, I think Brisbane won't make the grand final. I don't think they have the list to do it again. So that's why I just put go again. Just try your best. Go for it. Fuck it. You know, you live for flags, so just go for it, really. There's not much else. Maybe keep Will Ashcroft fit, but just go for it. Finally, for Adelaide, I replace Tex Walker. Tex Walker, he is a stunning player. He's aging like fine wine, but unfortunately for him, he's just over-relied on. Adelaide over-rely on Tex Walker so much. Even he was drafted in 2007, for fuck's sake. He's so old, and they are still relying on him. Now, I think for Adelaide's sake, you need to find something. Look, every preseason, everyone's like, oh, this guy trained the house down, fucking, he got a PB and this fucking, all that shit. But there is talks of certain Adelaide key forwards who are allegedly in preseason making big inroads. Adelaide have always had quite a few different key position players up forward who are young and are meant to be taking the reins, but no one seems to do, whether it's Himmelberg or some of the other ones I'm forgetting. There's a bunch of them. So they need to slowly prioritize that, because once Tex goes, there's a massive void there, and it's probably a void that will need to be taken care of ASAP. It's probably a void where you can't just go and buy another key forward in the market willy-nilly, whatever the word is. That should be their New Year's resolution. Now, in the comments below, give me what your team's New Year's resolution should be, in your opinion. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow the TikTok FTFooty, and I'll see you in another video. And thank you very much for watching.